Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into something super cozy and fun, knitting a beanie. Yes, we're going to knit a beanie together, step by step. Don't worry if you're a beginner. I promise it's easier than it looks, and we'll have a blast. So, grab your needles and yarn, and let's get started. Alright, first things first, let's talk supplies. You'll need some yarn, of course. Choose a yarn you love. I'm using a chunky yarn because it knits up quickly and it's super warm. You'll also need a pair of knitting needles. The size of your needles will depend on your yarn, so check the yarn label for recommendations. I'm using size 8 needles today. Oh, and don't forget a pair of scissors and a yarn needle to weave in those ends later. Got everything? Great, let's move on. Now, let's cast on. Casting on is how we get those first stitches on our needles. There are tons of ways to cast on, but I'll show you my favorite, the long tail cast on. It's easy, and it looks neat. First, make a slip knot. Place it on your left hand needle. Hold your yarn with the long tail in your left hand. Make a loop with the yarn between your thumb and index finger. Insert your needle under the thumb loop. Grab the yarn from the index finger, and pull it through the thumb loop. Drop the thumb loop and tighten the new loop on your needle. Repeat this until you've cast on the number of stitches you need. For a standard beanie, we can cast on about 80 stitches. Keep going. When you're done casting on, you'll have a row of stitches on your needle. Now, we're ready to start knitting. We're going to use the knit stitch, the most basic stitch in knitting. With the needle holding the stitches in your left hand, insert the right hand needle into the first stitch on the left needle, from left to right. Wrap the yarn around the right hand needle, and pull the yarn through the stitch. Slip the old stitch off the left needle. You now have a new stitch on your right needle. Repeat this for every stitch on the left needle. Congratulations, you've just knitted a row. Keep knitting, row after row, until your work is about as long as you want your beanie to be. Usually, we want it long enough to cover your ears comfortably. Feel free to try it on as you go. Once your beanie is the right length, it's time to bind off. Binding off secures the stitches so your work doesn't unravel. Here's how: knit the first 2 stitches. Then, use the left needle to lift the first stitch over the second stitch and off the needle. Knit the next stitch, and lift the first stitch over the second. Keep going until you have 1 stitch left on your right hand needle. Cut the yarn, leaving a tail. Pull the tail through the last stitch, and tighten it to secure. Okay, nearly there. If using straight needles, fold your work in half and seam the side. If you've used circular needles, you're all set. Use your yarn needle to sew the edge to form the hat. Using the yarn needle, thread the yarn tail, and starting from the top, start weaving the yarn through the edge. Go all the way down, all the way around. When you get to the bottom, you can sew the bottom edge too. Once seamed, weave in any loose ends on the inside. And there you have it, a cozy, handmade beanie. See, I told you it wasn't too hard. Now, go forth and knit all the beanies. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and happy knitting!